Welcome to Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. By veterans, for veterans. Guest host tonight, our author Greg Meekin, and Miss Val, our military radio gal. Continue Mission starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around, I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down. Got me shooting into space, flying at the sun. I'm never coming back because baby you're
Welcome to another rapid deployment of Continue Mission on the Veteran Channel. It's Thursday, May 7th, 2026, and this show is coming to you live from the great state of Arizona. I'm Val Olson, and I'm here once again at my kitchen table with the one, the only, the Iceman, Greg Meekin. This evening's special guest is State Senator Tom Willis of West Virginia. I can't wait to hear what he has to share this evening. So let's light the fuse, buckle up everyone. Greg Meekin, what is on your heart tonight?
Val Olson, Miss Val. Might want to get on screen with me there, Val. Oh, Miss Val, our military radio gal. It is another Continue Mission episode on the Veteran Channel. And what's on my heart tonight? It's a rare evening start for us, which is kind of cool. We usually have lots and lots of time to prepare, but this is what was called a true rapid deployment, which is what we do. We're able to go live with guests very quickly, and that's kind of what happened here. So what's on my heart, and this is for everybody out there, is be prepared. Always be ready to go live.
Yeah.
Always be ready for go time. I've heard that
I lost audio, guys. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I can't hear you guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's do an audio check.
I got you now.
Yeah, we're good.
What's on my heart today is be prepared. Always be prepared.
No, I can't hear you again.
Okay.
Wow.
I can hear Val.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear Greg.
I wonder if that's my mic. I wonder.
No, you sound great. We're live,
Wow.
And the levels are good. We can hear you, Greg. I can hear you, Tom.
But Tom, you cannot
I
hear
can't
me.
hear Greg, though. That's the problem. But I can hear you, Val. You sound great.
Thank you. Okay.
Val, take it away. Just ask Tom just to introduce himself and start it off, and I'll see if we can figure out my sound.
Okay. Well, Tom, I'm excited to hear how your day went. I know you've been on the road since 6:30 this morning, and what's happening in West Virginia, what's happening on the campaign trail, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your day.
Sure. Well, what's happening is it's U.S. Senate race season. And so I'm campaigning for U.S. Senate across the great state of West Virginia. Like you said, it's been an early start. Every day is a long adventure now. The primary is next Tuesday, so May 12th. So we're down to 4 or 5 days left, and we're hustling across the state to meet as many people as we can, as many veterans as we can before May 12th, and then early voting ends May 9th. So today I think I had three events, and then this interview. So different counties across the state. So a lot of driving, a lot of meeting people, but hey, that's the name of the game. And right now we don't have any veterans in our U.S. congressional delegation from West Virginia. My opponent is U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito. She doesn't have a military background, and none of our congressional representatives or senators from West Virginia are veterans. And that's, to me, that's a problem. West Virginia has one of the highest veteran populations per capita in the entire country. At one point, we were number one in the country. I don't think we're number one right now, but we're very close. Anyway, we've got a lot of veterans. It's one of the things I hear most frequently as a state senator are veterans issues and how can I help with veterans issues. Obviously, I'll be able to do that better as a U.S. senator as opposed to a state senator. I help out however I can now. But anyway, that's a little glimpse into where we are right now. Just a few days from this U.S. Senate primary. I'm running on the Republican ticket, and whoever wins the Republican primary in West Virginia will become the favorite for the general election because we've become a red state. So that's where we are.
Greg, do you want to ask a question? We'll see if your mic's working.
Let me do a mic check. Can you hear me, Tom? Can you hear me, Tom?
I still can't hear him. I can only hear you, Val.
What I'll do, I'll just ask a question.
But you can interpret,
live.
right?
I can.
I'll just ask a question here, and Val, you can relay it to him. Just let him know that too. Okay. Big issue, big thing we're watching closely is the polls with your opponent. Your opponent is establishment person has just raised huge amounts of money. Where do you stand there? Is there going to be an issue? Are you going to be head and head with the polls here? He's drastically outspent you.
Okay. Greg wants to ask you about the polls and if you can kind of get into what's happening with your opponent and how tight is that race?
Yeah, so it's a very tight race right now. We haven't run a poll in the last week or two. We're just hustling to the finish line. And no matter what, we're working as hard as we can. So, but we've gained geometrically since January, and so in January we were about 40 points down against an incumbent, and then since then we've skyrocketed in the polls as folks actually started paying attention to this race, and they started looking at me and my background. And then as folks learned about me and I went around the state, I had to finish legislative session as well in January, February. But the last couple of weeks we've been skyrocketing. So the last poll I saw online, I was winning. Traditional poll, I was down a few points. And so in our book, it's a neck and neck race. And so there are several candidates in the race that aren't serious candidates, meaning they have no real resume to bring to the table. So really it's a race between me against my opponent, who's incumbent, U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito. She's widely considered a rhino, and I'm considered the more conservative candidate. And she's made some bad votes, especially related to military veterans issues. I can go into those in a second, but it's a tight race, and so we're asking folks, to vote for Tom Willis on May 12th, and Lord willing, we'll get it across the finish line.
Greg, I'll let you get a question ready.
I'll ask him another quick question. Is he encouraged by the results from the Indiana election, where the conservatives won out over establishment? Was he encouraged by that?
Were you encouraged by the Indiana race, where a conservative beat out a rhino?
Yeah, I think that's very encouraging. And then, interestingly, after that race, folks started focusing on my race in West Virginia. So yesterday, we were number one in the country for a news story on Twitter. So if you just went to Twitter and hit news, Tom Willis versus Shelley Moore Capito was number one in the country, which was pretty wild. I'm not sure if we still are or not. I think we're still in the top 5 or something today. But folks shifted attention from Indiana to West Virginia. Now, the one thing that concerns me, full disclosure, is that the folks that won in Indiana, for the most part, were endorsed by President Trump. And in my race, he went ahead and endorsed my opponent, Shelley Moore Capito, before I got into the race. And so I think it was part of the negotiation that they had over the big, beautiful bill. And it seemed like West Virginia, and this was disappointing to me, because there were some senators that negotiated successfully to get things for their states, like Alaska did and Hawaii did, certain carve-outs and that sort of thing for the big, beautiful bill to help their states. really all West Virginia got was Trump's endorsement for my opponent, Shelley, and her son was appointed as the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of our state. And so instead of serving West Virginians, it seems circumstantially that she just served her family. And so that's one of the issues I have with her, one of the reasons I'm running against her. So I'm encouraged by the results in Indiana, but just full disclosure, I have to overcome that. I have to message why the president has endorsed my opponent, and I think we're still going to overcome it. The polls are showing that we're overcoming it. So I'm confident that things are going to go our way next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
Ask
Go ahead,
Tom. Let's talk veterans. Give Tom the mic for as long as he wants. Talk about
All
our
right.
veterans and what he plans to be doing on behalf of our veterans once he gets in office.
Okay, Tom, I'm going to give you the stage, and we just want you to love on our vets, and that includes you too. Thank you for your service. Share your story, and just take your time. This is where we get to talk what we love, our veterans. Go ahead.
Right on. Well, I am a veteran. I love our veterans. It's the best part of the campaign is to go around the state, and I get to meet with a lot of different veterans groups. I joined the West Virginia National Guard 20 years ago, and it was kind of funny because I met with my recruiter, Joe Willie. We're still friends today, 26 years later. I met with Joe, and he said, "Tom, don't worry. The National Guard has only been mobilized twice in the last 65 years." And he said, I think World War II and then once during the first Gulf War. So, So anyway, I came back from my honeymoon in 2001, and literally, so that was October of 2001, which of course was right after 9/11, which changed all of our world, especially for us veterans. And literally, I got back from my honeymoon. The next day, I got a phone call. We're going to Afghanistan. Pack your bags. I was in the Special Forces unit here in West Virginia in the West Virginia National Guard. And so that whole first year of military service, and it was my second year of military service, but my first year of marriage, I was gone completely on a military. We got one day after our honeymoon, and then I was gone the rest of that year. So, and I've done 16 years active duty, approximately out of 26 years total. So I have about 10 years guard years and 16 years active duty, deployed all over the world, just about every continent. And I learned to speak French, Spanish, and Russian along the way. I've served in several embassies. I've done diplomatic tours. I've done counterterrorism tours, counter-narcotics tours, more intel-related type tours. And it's been a joy and an honor to serve my country in military uniform. And along the way, as you guys know, you develop very close relationships with your brothers and sisters in uniform. And so one of my passions is helping veterans and helping veterans in their needs, especially if they've got an issue with the VA or anything to do with the government. And just showing them the love, showing them the appreciation that our country shows back to them for the sacrifices that they've made and the willingness to risk their lives for all of us to keep our freedoms. That's what I'm passionate about. Something I'm gonna absolutely continue that as the next U.S. Senator for West Virginia. And let me just finish with this. I'll give you a real world story of why it's important to bring veterans in. And there's one tragedy that happened recently in West Virginia, and it was when my opponent, Shelley Moore Capito, voted for the Afghan refugee resettlement program. And it just brought in, at the very end, sort of wham bam, slipshod, without a lot of vetting, about 100,000 Afghans into our country. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't bring in, some of our close allies, some of our interpreters that served on our teams and that sort of thing. But 100,000 all at once, largely unvetted, one of whom didn't, adapt to U.S. society, drove across the country and killed Sarah Beckstrom, who was one of my sisters in the West Virginia National Guard, and severely wounded Andy Wolf, who's another National Guard member from my home county. And so when you have folks that have zero international experience, They don't understand the cultures. They don't understand the dangers that you're dealing with. And there's a wise way to do things, and there's a foolish way to do things. And so that's just one example, concrete example of why it matters to have veterans serving in these positions of high authority like U.S. Senate, because that's a seat that's making decisions for our entire country. And we need folks that have that worldwide experience, that have the wisdom of having served in uniform. And so just another reason why I'm stepping forward and asking folks to support me in this U.S. Senate race, this U.S. Senate primary next Tuesday, May 12th.
Awesome. I'm sure you still can't hear me, right, Tom? Okay,
Can't
Val.
hear you.
Let's do this. Let's ask Tom if you'd go through our little slideshow. We missed it last time. Just let Tom know that you're going to do a little slideshow. Take your time and have him share about each photo. We were looking forward to him last time.
We are going to just run a slideshow. So if you don't mind, I'm going to bring those slides up and take your time and just describe for us what's happening in these pictures.
All right. So this one is, I may not remember exactly where I was in all of these because there's so many deployments around the world, but I believe this one is at the 130th Air Wing in Charleston, West Virginia. It looks like we've got one of our birds in the background there. So this is obviously a Black Hawk. We have Black Hawks in the West Virginia National Guard. It's a great platform for troop movement. Also, one of my favorite platforms to parachute out of, because you can just elevator up and down and you can get 4 jumps in a single day pretty effortlessly. And the good news is that when you just elevator up to 1,200 feet for your jump, there's just an incredible view, especially in West Virginia, because you can see the mountains for 50, 60 miles in all directions. And right until they kick you in the back of the head and throw you out of the aircraft, out of the helicopter, and when it's your time to jump. So that's I believe that's in the 130th Air Wing in West Virginia. And this one was with 2nd and 19th Special Forces Group. This is a routine jump day for us, just getting our jumps in. So this is in the western part of the state. And I think this was at Huntington Airport, if I remember correctly. And so we're just getting ready to jump out of the back of a C-130 this time, and for this jump. And this is just me in a beautiful part of our state. This is over by the where the New River meets the Gauley River, and just a beautiful cascade. And so one time I was just traveling through the state on military duty, and just stopped to see the natural beauty of West Virginia. And so this wasn't on a tour or anything. This was just military duty inside the state of West Virginia. This is another jump. I'm not sure where this one was. Could have been Bragg. Could have been in one of our jumps out of West Virginia. I'm not sure, but dozens and dozens of jumps, and my knees will attest to it as well. This one, this is a neat picture for me. So when I went to basic training, I started off enlisted, and then I became an officer later on when we needed officers on our teams. And I remember one of our drill sergeants told me I would never make it to Green Berets, because he had tried out and didn't make it. And so a lot of times people, if they don't see something for themselves, they can't see it for you. So anyway, this picture is gratifying because that diploma in my right hand right there was Distinguished Honor Graduate for the Special Forces Qualification Course. And this was funny because, and obviously those are my 2 kids, Hunter and Peniel, there on the right. We lost Hunter to cancer, unfortunately, back in 2022. He had just turned 19, but this was back when he was a young boy. But that was a very gratifying picture. And then one of my friends, Danny, came up to me when I was Distinguished Honor Graduate, and he knew that I had just gotten about 5 coins from all the generals and the colonels, and so he wanted to buy me a drink. So he came up. He was a friend of mine from behind the fence over at Fort Bragg, and so just so that I could show him up because he knew I just got a 2-star coin and a couple other coins. So he dropped a coin on me so that he would have to buy me a drink to, celebrate my graduation. But I had just I got a Yarborough knife and all my documents and all my coins. I just dumped it all into my car so that I could go take care of the kids or everything. And then right then, Danny walked up and dropped a coin on me. So believe it or not, I had 5 coins just a second ago. I had 0 coins. So I ended up having to buy him a drink at that. So that was a fun day. And then this is our family. So the lady on the left, that beautiful lady, is my wife, Sarah. I met her. So she's my second wife. I met her on a deployment to Macedonia. I was working with Croatian, Albanian, and Macedonian special forces. And I met her on the very last night I was in country. And so we met some of her friends. Some of our friends from the embassy knew some of her friends when they walked in to this little restaurant where we were at. And it kind of turns into a bar in the evenings. And so we started talking, and then she left with her friends. And then my friend Vlatko from the Wolves, the Macedonian Special Forces, came over and said, "Hey, do you know who that was?" And I was pretty proud of myself. I remembered her name. I said, "Yeah, that was Sarah. She gave me her number, told me to call her." And so he says, "Come with me." So Vlatko takes me outside into the streets of Skopje, Macedonia, and he says, "Hey, look up there." So I look up, and this girl's picture is all over the city. So come to find out, she was the biggest female celebrity in her country at the time. Miss Macedonia, just competed in Miss World. She's doing the national lottery, all this stuff. I had no idea who she was when I met her. And long story short, we stayed in touch, got married a little over a year later. And now we've been married for 18 years, and we've had two more kids of our own. And so that's a picture of us together with our dog. And our dog is named, so Sarah's from Macedonia, home of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great's horse was called Bucefal in Macedonian. And so that's the name of our dog, Bucefal, or we call him Buke for short.
Wow, what a great story. You have a beautiful family, and it's so great to get to know who's leading our country. And I thank you for your service and just being so open and sharing with us tonight. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Greg, do you have another question?
Oh, sure I do. This is so funny. This is like special broadcast, relay to Val, then relay the message to Tom, but we'll run with it here. I wanted to last show, I asked, are we okay sound-wise?
I think so.
Okay. I asked Tom that he was an Oregon Duck. He was a Duck. No one's asked him that, I'm sure. I wanted to ask him about that, his experience with it, because I love that team. Go ahead.
Okay, Greg is wondering about your experience with the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, so I went to law school at the University of Oregon. I got my JD there, and then I went to Georgetown, and I finished up with a master's in law from Georgetown. But I'm an Oregon Ducks football fan. Definitely, when I was there, that was the first year they made it to the Rose Bowl. So we road tripped from Oregon all the way down to Los Angeles with one of my buddies in his pickup truck, and I went to the Rose Bowl that year over in California. So that was my experience with the West Coast. I'm more of an East Coast guy, I realized, than a West Coast guy, but I got to go see it. I got to live it. At least I know, where I belong. And so West Virginia is home for me, but obviously I root for the Mountaineers to win football games, but if they're not playing the Ducks, I root for the Ducks too.
Val, asked Tom about the Hunter Carlos Willis aviation program.
The Hunter Willis
Hunter Willis.
Hunter Carlos. Sorry, one more time.
Hunter Carlos Willis aviation program.
Yeah, the Hunter Carlos
Willis
aviation program. Yep. So that was my oldest son, Hunter, that we lost to cancer. He went home to be with the Lord in 2022. And he wanted to be a pilot, and so he was learning how to fly. And there's a university here in West Virginia called Shepherd University. The president of the university was a friend of ours, and her husband was a fighter pilot back in Vietnam. And so Chuck and Mary are good friends of ours, and they arranged and actually sponsored Hunter for some of his flight school lessons. So he was taking lessons to become a pilot. He wanted to be a commercial pilot as a career, and he wasn't qualified for the military because of his cancer history, but he wanted to be a commercial pilot. Before he relapsed, and then we lost him. So, in honor of him, when he passed, just because he had really touched a lot of the older pilots, some of the Vietnam era crew, and that sort of thing. Some of the veterans from our 167th Airlift Wing, also he had befriended them. And so they all knew him. They knew his passion for aviation. And so Shepherd created this new aviation program, and they named it after my son, Hunter, in his honor after he passed on. So we were really honored by that. And I sit on the board of advisors for that program, and we're just advocating for students who enjoy aviation, who want to go into either airport management, airport leadership, or piloting. That's basically the gist of it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Ask, I'm keeping it real brief here. Ask Tom about the Glen Ferris Inn. The Glen Ferris Inn.
The Glen Ferris Inn. Greg is wondering about that.
Yeah, so that was one of my many business ventures. I used to own the Glen Ferris Inn, and it was an interesting property. It's a historic inn with a restaurant right on the Kanawha River, right where the Gauley River and the New River intersect. It forms a beautiful waterfall there. There's a historic inn. 4 U.S. presidents have stayed there, and so I was honored to own that for a time. We sold it a few years ago, mainly because it was far away from where I live in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, so it was difficult to manage from afar. But it was a wonderful experience to own that piece of history. It's still thriving. It's still going on. The new owners are doing a good job with it, and so I certainly recommend folks stop by. You have to take a scenic tour through West Virginia to get there, but it's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see.
Ask Tom between now and Tuesday, what's he going to be doing active-wise as the election primary comes up? In other words, how busy is he going to be?
How busy are you going to be between now and next Tuesday with the primary coming up?
Oh yeah, well, very busy. So tomorrow we start at 7 a.m. I have a speech to give to a breakfast at a breakfast meeting, and then I think we've got some phone calls and some travel time, and then I'm going to another county for a late afternoon speech and presentation tomorrow night, and then the day after that I have 2 or 3 different counties that we're traveling to, 2 or 3 different speeches. So we're hustling all the way up to the finish line. So we want to finish strong, and we'll do the best I can, and it's up to the good Lord after that.
What do you say to what's your call to action to veterans between now and Tuesday?
Between now and Tuesday, what is your call of action to our veterans? Can you hear me, Tom? Uh-oh. We might have froze up. Can you hear me?
Oh, gosh. I can't hear either one of you now.
Can you hear? Okay.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hear me? I can't hear either one of you. I'm so sorry.
Let's excuse him.
Let's
excuse him.
So strange. I can see you fine.
That's fine. Maybe it's the Capitolo campaign messing with him. You never know. Just go ahead. You know what? Excuse Tom. Let's cut him loose. He's got a late night back there. And again, we'll do another follow-up here. Just best to him for the election coming up. But go ahead and just excuse him.
Okay. So Tom, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we've lost audio with you. So we thank you and we wish you the best of luck between now and Tuesday. We know you are going to be busy. And I just thought, Greg, as we close out this evening, I just wanted to bring Tom's website to the audience's attention, because this is a fantastic website to visit. It has just everything he stands for. And obviously, this is where it counts. So hearing him talk about veterans issues tonight and his focus, it's pretty amazing. We need more vets in office, but these are the highlights. Sanctity of life, Second Amendment, parental rights, national debt, border security, foreign policy, inflation and economy, health and freedom, education, stop the woke socialist agenda, voting accountability, free speech, veterans, and energy. So impressive stuff.
Yeah, we will be wrapping the show. Technology issue, of course. As far as Tom dropping off, no worries, no worries. I'll bet you $1 million we'll do, and I hope we do a follow-up victory show. How about that? Follow-up victory show. And I would let's just start wrapping. I'm so thrilled to have Tom on. No matter what, there's a trend going on, and I hope Tom Willis is part of that.
Yeah.
The trend is getting away, the American voter getting away from the establishment Republicans.
Yeah.
The rhinos, the family destiny types of
No, it's important. It's important for voters to recognize who stands for what. Blind endorsements can happen, and mistakes can happen. And this is one case where it sounded almost like somewhat of a prepackaged deal with his opponent, and all that she's accomplished is in her own best interest, like putting her son as the attorney general. Really? You can't make this stuff up. So we have to vote informed. And it's important when we have a veteran running that we get out there and support him. And we're wanting to see arm to arm veterans out and supporting each other. And this is how to do it. This is how we take our country back. And, Trump isn't perfect, right? President Trump isn't perfect. And clearly we have rhinos in the mess. And if you don't know what a rhino is, that means Republican name only. That means they're like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And this is a real problem. So course correct by doing your own homework. Visit Tom Willis. His website is, one more time, tomwillis.com. Real easy. So visit that. And Greg, one last chance to say good night, and then I'm going to sign off for us.
Sure. And just a direct call to action to we talk about our veterans. Okay. This is the Veteran Channel, and this is a rapid deployment of Continue Mission show on the Veteran Channel. And I speak directly, and we have since our last broadcast with Tom, to the 100,000 plus U.S. veterans that live in West Virginia. 100,000 plus. Speak directly to those guys, to you guys, that if there's ever been a time where you haven't felt like voting, showing up, think you can't make a difference, maybe you'll sit it out this time, or maybe vote for the establishment. I encourage you to get to the polls. If you haven't already voted early, get to the polls. It's this Tuesday, May 12th. And vote for Tom Willis to make change. And then we pray he gets into the November 3rd, gets elected to the U.S. Congress, because this is an authentic man who has military experience. But he is one of those guys, and there's a lot of them out there now, Val, that people are starting to get behind, because indeed they're not establishment. People are tired of the establishment, tired of the status quo. So to you 100,000 plus guys out there, get to the polls, even if it's for your first time, in a while, and vote for Tom Willis. And then, of course, get to the polls on November 3rd. We just cannot thank our veterans enough. We're committed to our veterans, of course, the Veteran Channel, and with James McCormick, our National Executive Director for the Vietnam Veterans of America. And our veterans always include our law enforcement, first responders, our border guys. So to all of you guys, get out there, and gals, get out there and vote on Tuesday. It's the most important thing. Candidates like Tom, who are the Again, they're the upstart. They're not the establishment. They are the conservative alternative. And for guys like that, they generally do well on election day. So if I were going to put out a prediction out there, I just pray he wins. I know it's close, but I have a feeling it might be decided on election day. So we'll watch for that, and we'll definitely do a follow-up on that. Everyone's real passionate. Everybody that I know who knows Tom, and again, the Captain McCormicks of the world who befriended him and stuff, are just really, really pulling for him. And Tom deserves to win. He's worked his butt off. His staff is amazing. Susan, his media advisor, and Sonia, his coordinator, his assistant, they have been great. They're great to work with behind the scenes. One of these days, we'll get just a pure show with no audio issues. I don't know what went on there tonight, but either way, we made it happen. Obviously, vote Tom Willis. And what I finish up every show, and just with a message for your days, for when, as you're going through each day, one day at a time in life, and that is, wake up in kindergarten every day. There's so much to learn and so little time, because before you know it, you're in first grade. Thank you, Val. God love you, everyone.
So Tom Willis, he is a husband, he is a man of faith, and he has served our country so well, 26 years in uniform. So we say thank you, Tom. The Veteran Channel is featured on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, of course, Greg Meekin's YouTube and Facebook pages, and dozens of other platforms. Continue Mission is produced by veterans for veterans. And remember, everyone, we are actively recruiting, and your mission starts now.
Welcome to Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. By veterans, for veterans. Guest hosts tonight are author Greg Meekin and Miss Val, our military radio gal. Continue Mission starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, 'cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around. I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down. You got me shooting into space, flying at the sun. I'm never coming back 'cause baby, you're the
Welcome to Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. By veterans, for veterans. Guest hosts tonight are author Greg